afternoon. Today I'm out here in western Kansas, out here at a church. The unique thing about western Kansas, and I'm sure with a lot of other midwestern states, sometimes you have these huge churches and they're literally in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's the old school that you had a school here at one time, and it sits right there. But I mean, we got cornfields for miles, and there's just not a whole lot here. I mean, there's nothing back that way, and it's just a few houses in the distance. So today for the review, I hope it all come through. I hope my mic picked it all up. Trying a little different system with my mic. We're going to do the Dewars. It's a Caribbean Smooth Rum Cask finish, product of Scotland, aged 8 years. Double aged and finished in Caribbean rum cask for extra smoothness, with notes of brown sugar, tropical fruits, caramel, and biscuity cereal. I didn't mean to read all that, but I did anyway. And it actually even has a bottle number on it, 04-6137, which is interesting. This was actually, it's 40% alcohol by volume. This has an age statement, and the standard Dewar's white label does not, and the standard Dewar's white label was actually where I purchased this, $1 more than this. So to me, this, I've reviewed the white label for you guys before, and I forget what all. It seems like I've reviewed a couple of different Dewar's products for you guys so in the past. Anyway, so we're going to hit this one up, see what it's like today, because I've only had the only other rum cask finish I've ever had is the Balvenie 14, and I've never did a review on it, but it just never tickled my fancy. And rum cask finishes are strange. Now, I've had a third of the bottle there, maybe a little more than that. And it's actually a very intriguing scotch. Blended scotch. It's a blended Scotch whiskey. Oh, the vanillas are just roll off of this one. And there is a brown sugar component to it. I agree with that too. And the biscuity note they talk about. I actually had to get some English biscuits or crackers or whatever they call them. And I've tried those because what we have in America that we don't refer to, they're not quite the same. The English ones are a little more dense, a little more flavorful, if you will. But I definitely get that in this. Not so much the tropical stuff. A little bit of coconut. But mostly vanilla and brown sugar in this one. On the nose, mind you. There is a fruitiness component to this. That is indistinct to my nose, what it is, other than the coconut. That's really not, I don't associate that too much. That's more of a barrel influence. But there is an indistinct fruity note to it on the nose. And you get some of that grain still going on. I think to me that's what's translating into that biscuity note, that multi-grainy note. It does have a fairly good viscosity. What I like about this is the brightness. There is a brightness to it, and I know that's excuse the wind, guys. Hope it ain't affecting my mic too bad. And brightness is there's a light, a very light, flavorful note that I associate with brightness in this. And with that comes more of a, to me it'd be more papaya. There is sort of that fruity note there. I'm not going to say a lot of tropical stuff, but papaya is one that does come to mind with this. With that, I still get an apple. Just a plain Jane apple. The brown sugar. The brown sugar's still there. And the brown sugar, it stays in the background through it. Finish is fairly, I mean, we're done with the finish. We've been done with it. We take another sip. It's such a light, bright malt, but blended. Not offensive at all. This is actually a good drinker. For $21, what I'm getting as flavor-wise, coming back at me, is worth every bit of the $21.50 or what. So that's a little more than $23, I think, after tax. Back to my train of thought here. It's much better than the Dewar's White Label. It's much more flavorful. The flavors are good, balanced in this one. There's no harshness that comes along with it. There's not a lot of great big single malt flavors that's going to pull your tongue out and just say, feel all this caramel or apple or whatever it was watching. You're not getting that. It's a typical blend, and they blend it for that awful word nobody likes to hear, but everybody uses, smoothness. And by smoothness, it means easy drinkability with no unredeeming characters that bother you while you're drinking it. That's what it means to me. And for score on this one, I'm going to give it a 87 out of 100. I mean, this is definitely, if somebody offered me this, I would have, even if they had single malts on the shelf and this is all they wanted to offer me, I would have no compunction about taking a dram. None at all. Wouldn't bother me. I think it's just that drinkable. And drinkable is the word here we're looking for. We're not looking for outstanding. We're not looking for, I mean, it's good, but we're not looking for something that just is so introspective and over the moment that you just sit so long and just living in the moment with. It's not that kind of moment with this. This is sit down, drink it, enjoy it, and whatever else is going on right there at that moment. 40% is definitely no water needed. I enjoy it. So one last time so y'all can see the label. I'll finish off with this. Remember, the spirit in your glass isn't running from you. Take your time, sip it, enjoy it. You'll be better for it, as will we all. And I will talk to you guys on another afternoon. See you later.